I have a confession to make, and I don't really know how to say it, so I'm just going to come right out with it. I don't own a single physical copy of Mistborn. And that is why today we're going to be going over all of the Mistborn covers, and there are quite a few out there. And most of them I don't even like, but we'll get to that. But yes, Mistborn is one of my favorite series. It is the book I have read and reread the most of any book, and yet I don't have any physical copies of it. I don't have something I can hold and look at and be pretty on a shelf. And that's shameful. I have the audiobook, I have the ebook, but no physical copy. But you go to get a physical copy of it and you got a lot of options. And like I said, most of them don't do much for me. So if you're wondering how many copies are there, what do they look like, which ones do I like best, which one am I going to end up getting? Well, so am I. So let's take a look at them. And I'm looking at all these covers on Coppermind. And if you have not checked it out as a Cosmere fan, I think it's probably your duty. Now, you have to be very careful because there's spoilers everywhere. So if you're not caught up, proceed with caution. Unless you don't mind spoilers. Apparently some people do not care about spoilers. My wife is one of those people. Like, she begs for spoilers. Is there other people out there like that? If there are, let me know. I'm confused. But anyway, that's where I'm finding all of these is on Coppermind. So if you want to check that out, I highly recommend it. The first cover that we're looking at is Mistborn the Final Empire. It's the first edition hardcover from Tor. And I don't know what they were doing with this. I really don't. It's one of my least favorite covers, just in general. Like, it's not so much Vin in this. I think they did that just fine. I like the scene they picked and how they depicted it. But the two big problems I have with it is, one, it's purple. Why is it purple? Nothing in Mistborn is purple. There's red, there's black. That's the majority of the colors. But there's nothing purple about it. And this entire cover is purple. That bothers me. And then also the guy down here at the bottom, yeah, that just looks weird. So that's definitely a no for me. Next one is the first edition mass market paperback, which just it being a mass market paperback kind of throws it out for me as far as wanting something to have on my shelf. But this is a weird cover as well. Like, I don't know what's going on with the face there, but that's weird. Otherwise, it's not bad, but like, put a hood on Vin right there. I'm assuming that's Vin. You can't really tell with that face. It looks more like an alien than Vin, in my opinion. And then we got the second edition mass market paperback. This one, I kind of like the style of it. I'm usually not too big on realistic people on the cover, but they did this one in a pretty good job of this one. I love the spires and all in the background, but again, it's purple. So no. Now the YA paperback, and if you're confused about why it's YA, at one point it was not YA, then it was YA, and I'm not sure where it stands now, but they've changed categories a little bit with it. But the YA for the first book, I really like. I feel like so far of the covers we've looked at, this one is the most true to the story. Vin, I think, looks appropriate, looks menacing, looks like she's about to kill someone, which happens a lot in the book, so this could really be anywhere. The mist is just mysterious, and her mist cloak kind of disappears into it, which is supposed to be the whole effect of it. I think this cover is really well done. I would actually consider getting that one. And then we got a more modern mass market paperback. This one, I think it's the first one we've looked at that doesn't have Vin on the cover, which I'm totally fine with. Not that I don't like Vin as a character. She's great as a character. I just don't always like people on the cover. This one, though, is a bit lackluster. There's just not a whole lot going on with it. This also gets into where Brandon Sanderson is now bigger than the books, and so they make his name as prominent, if not bigger, than the title of the book, and I really don't like that when covers do that. I'm buying it for the book. I love the book. I don't need the author's name on big print. This ain't a autobiography, and this is Mistborn. Okay? It's technically Mistborn the Final Empire, but they took the Final Empire part out of it. Now, there's also been a ton of international covers. I only read English, so it limits it down to really just the UK versions, but I actually really like the UK book. The white with the sketch look and just a bit of color. They have the name prominent, and they have the Final Empire on there, and then Brandon Sanderson's name is in an appropriate smaller text. Just the simplicity of it, I think that would look beautiful on a bookshelf, and I don't know why they don't have that as the US cover, because all the US covers are pretty much, I don't want to use the word trash, but So now we're finally getting down to some really good ones. And this is going to be the 10th year anniversary ones. And honestly, if I'm buying it because I want it pretty and up on the shelf, I'm probably going to go with a 10-year anniversary edition. Thankfully, there's two good options when it comes to the Final Empire. So the first one is the UK version. I really like the style of this one. It, to me, feels like a throwback fairy tale type cover, and I just feel like it would age the best probably. I don't feel like it would go out of style. It's not trendy necessarily. It's just classic. And I think this book is a classic. I consider it a classic. So having a classic cover on it, I'm okay with that. Now I will say that the third book with the UK hardcover is just a little creepy. It's got Vin's face on it, and I don't like how they did Vin's face on it. It just looks weird. So that would be the only thing that would keep me from getting the UK hardcover 10th year anniversary edition, is that third book is just a little off. And finally, the top contender, the one I actually really, really want. It's also the most expensive one, and that's the 10-year anniversary leatherbound from Dragonsteel. Hands down, it's the prettiest cover. It's the nicest book. It's the most expensive one, so it should be. But yeah, that's the one I really, really want. It'll just come down to, do I want to fork out the money for that when you can get the UK hardcover for much, much, much less, and it's still nice. Or the UK paperback, which is, I think, prettier than the UK hardcover, but maybe a little more trendy, and it's paperback as well, so not as nice to have up on the shelf. Now, some special mentions of ones that I think look really good, but I can't read. So the Bulgaria cover of the Final Empire looks amazing. I would love to have that book, as well as the Poland version. Like I was saying earlier, red and black. That's the main colors of this book. The entire world is red and black. And this cover is the first one I've seen that really incorporates that, and it just makes it look menacing. And that is exactly how you should feel when reading Mistborn. Menacing. And then I also just want to point out, Portugal, again, purple. Why is purple so prominent? Did I miss something in Mistborn? I've read it a couple of times. I don't remember a lot of things being purple, and yet purple keeps showing up. Does purple sell better with books? If you know what's going on with Mistborn and purple, please let me know. The mainland China one, I think, looks really storybook and very, very nice. Also, I was looking at this Japanese one, and they made Vin very anime, which I get, and I hadn't thought about this before, but I would kind of like to see Mistborn done as an anime. I think you could pull that off if someone did a really good job of that. What do you think about that? Mistborn anime? It could be a thing. I also really like the feel of this Georgia cover. It's just, again, it's dark and, a little creepy and sinister, and that's what I want in the cover. Is I want a little spookiness in it. I either want really nice leather or I want spooky. So with that, what's your favorite cover? I'm curious. Is there, Coppermind's usually pretty good about covering everything. Did they leave one out? Is there something I'm missing? Is there one you recommend? Is there one that you have that you really love? Let me know down in the comments. This is a big decision for me, or I just go buy them all. That's an idea. But anyway, if you have a favorite, let me know down in the comments. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.